Ms. Marshall, roll call.
Mr. Armour, Mrs. Denny.
Here.
Mr. Doherty.
Here.
Mrs. Essler, Ms. Hilferty. Here. Mrs. Jones.
Here.
Mrs. Powell.
Here.
Mrs. Stone.
Here.
Mr. Tinsley.
Here. 2.0 on the agenda, 2.01 on the agenda is approval of minutes. This motion is to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of February 22nd, 2017. Do I have this motion?
So moved. Second.
Questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. 2.02 is the invoice listing. This motion is to approve the invoice listing for February 2017 through March 2017. Do I have this motion?
So moved. Second.
Questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. 2.03 is a treasurer's report. Ms. Powell?
As of January 31st, 2017, Pendoco's balance was $43,348,188. During January 2017, local, state, and federal revenues totaled $2,852,074. Disbursements were issued in the amount of $4,863,785. As of February 28th, 2017, Pendoco's current balance is $41,336,477. The motion is to approve the treasurer's report for February 2017. Do I have this motion?
So moved. Second.
Questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. 2.04 is the budget transfer report. This motion to approve the budget transfer report as presented. Do I have this motion?
So moved. Second.
Questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. 2.05 supplemental financial information, which includes expenditures, revenue, and student activity. Staff, student, and community recognition. Dr. Steinoff?
Thank you, Mr. Tinsley. It was my joy to get a text. Sometimes it's not. It was my joy to get a text a few days back with word from the Northley administrators that we had yet another Northley student emerge as not just a runner-up or a contestant, but a champion in the Delaware County Spelling Bee. I was thrilled to get the news, and then the next day I am at the newsstand down in Delaware where I live, and I go in to get my New York Times, my Inquirer, and I look at the Delco Times, and inside is a very, very large article, wonderful article, and huge Northley Middle School type at the top, talking about one of our students, Phoebe Smith, who won the spelling bee and did a phenomenal job, humble individual, outstanding work, outstanding effort, bested all of the other middle school students in Delaware County. Good schools, good kids, but at the end of the day, it's a Pendelco student who won that and has kept really a great tradition really alive for us. We've had a number of students come out of Northley emerging victorious, heading down to Washington, D.C. and doing quite well as well. So something's working in Pendelco when it comes to spelling, and whether it's reading counts and million-word readers, or just hard work by the students memorizing those words, they're really doing well. And it was clear to me, and I shared it with the board president, he says, we have to recognize her at our next board meeting. So we called last night, very happy that her family is here, and and we'd like Phoebe to come up to get a certificate, a Amazon gift card so you can buy some books, and a hat as well. Round of applause for Phoebe.
Mayor, we're going to go to number 4 on the agenda, Superintendent's Report.
Thank you again, Mr. Tinsley. I'm going to step in front of the microphone over here, and we're going to drop down the projector for this portion of the presentation. Oftentimes, I'm sitting in the center there and having to look over my head, so I just thought I'd step up here and talk to you and share with the school board and members of the public who are viewing this our proposed phasing that we're bringing to the board's attention with regards to the Sun Valley renovation project. So, as you know, we have talked about this project for about the past year, done all the preparatory work to continue to renovate this building and get Sun Valley up to a level that's consistent with the rest of our other schools. We're very thrilled with the work and the quality that came out of last summer's projects with all the restrooms throughout the building. And we are looking ahead now to summer 2017. As you know, we will have another board meeting in 2 weeks to hopefully award bids as they come back for this particular project. But there has been a question as to how we can phase the rest of the work without impacting the educational experience of students at Sun Valley. We work with MM, and I'm happy to bring this proposal to the board's attention. So we've already agreed that this summer coming up, we will be working on 2 particular areas. So we are intending to move forward, again, ideally based upon how the bids come back, with a complete renovation of the kitchen, which goes back to its original days, the cafeteria as well, and also build a faculty lounge in that area that is where the cafeteria and kitchen currently are. The plans also call for bringing in natural light, which will really brighten up that area. Every student is in there every day at least once. We want that to look sharper and as fresh as possible, and also help us maximize the quality of the foods that we are offering back in the kitchen. That will require us to shut the kitchen down early at the tail end of this year. And so we will be putting up a partition, shutting that down and beginning the demolition so that we can open up in the fall with a brand new cafeteria, kitchen, and cafeteria in operation at the high school. We'll also be looking at renovating the classrooms that are along Pancoast. So this is primarily right now English classrooms, some history, social studies classrooms. That can be done during the summer as well. So you're looking at 2 big pieces of real estate in the high school that we can have vastly improved come September 2017. So the question is what comes next? And what we will be proposing is the following strategy. The bulk of the classrooms then would be addressed in the summer of 2018. This is a challenge because the second floor primarily will be science labs. That will take some extra time to work through those classes. We would also work on the first floor. Ms. Marshall and I have talked extensively with the architect about whether or not we can separate those 2. And because of the mechanics involved, having something on the second floor and the first floor are intertwined, that project has to go along at the same time. Green also summer 2018, and then fall 2018, this is the Media Information Center, formerly known as a library. That can be shut down while we work without impacting the operation of the school as well. Other side of the building, following 2 summers. So we would be looking at the new auditorium, which would come out of the ground in the spring of 2019. That work would continue into the spring of 2020. We would also be looking at the summer of 2019 for the office area, the new nurses suite, and the improved entrance. And then in the summer of 2020, we would have these rooms in the back, which are currently right now where the band room is, as well as the wing where ROTC is, and where art and
classrooms are as well as the TV studio. So what we looked at was how do we improve what kids experience most as soon as possible, and that is this particular strategy, which gets the classrooms done before some of the other aspects. Summer 2019 outside the building would involve reconfiguration of the entry and the drop-off up here. Potentially added parking in the front of the building. That would be to be determined. And then any work that may have to occur on our fields. That is also to be determined. And then at the tail end of the project, in May through August that summer, would pick up the athletic rooms, the athletic area, the locker rooms as well. That's a phasing structure that puts the academics ahead of everything else and also gives us maximum flexibility. One thing I will share with you is that it appears as though we cannot move forward without engaging in the use of some modular classrooms. We have looked at every possible way of doing this without having to use mods. We don't see how we can get that done. The only way we would do it would push the classroom work back to 2021. So our freshmen who are coming in wouldn't even feel the new classrooms for almost until the end of their experience at Sun Valley. The value of the mods versus what we're going to get out of making sure the project's not rushed and it doesn't impact the kids' experience while they're at Sun Valley really justifies us going in that direction, and that's something that we continue to talk to the board about. And then while I have the screen, I wanted to share some data with you as well tonight. As we are into the spring, school board members across the county, across the state are starting to evaluate their budgets. Tracy and I have been putting together some data and have access to a package of data that we thought we should share with you this month. I'll share with you just some revenue points and how it impacts our school district budget as we'll be working on finalizing and asking for approval in just a couple months. Anytime you're working on a budget, people I know are always asking, well, what about your revenues? Why do you need to raise taxes? Do you have enough? These are all legitimate questions. And we thought this trend was valuable for you to see. Back in 2008, this blue line represents the total revenue per student that Penn Delco received. So they had $13,613 in revenue back in 2008. Then we went into 2009. Revenue dipped a little bit on transfer taxes for us. There was no interest income, if you remember, that's when the recession went through. And then our revenues have gradually gone back up. But I would note where we were in 2008 relative to our peers. The green line represents all county districts in Delaware County to where we are now. And the challenge with a small budget is that when you are increasing it at the rate consistent with Act 1, our increases can't keep up with the larger increases that larger budgets are generating. So you'll see the revenue per student in most districts in Delaware County is about $3,300 more than the revenue that we generate per student in Penn Delco. And that's the challenge that we have to continue to work through. This kind of just shows you our total revenue versus the rest of the county. This is our total revenue. So you'll see that we have the smallest amount of revenue coming in. If we were the smallest district, that would make sense. We're not, based on 2015 data. There were 3 other districts smaller than us. Chichester, Marple, Newtown, and Interborough. Very close, all within 100 students, but still smaller than us. And then here it shows us where do we fall in terms of revenue per student against the other districts. This is where you see the challenge here a little bit. I think it speaks really to the work that our staff does, to the work that this district provides in terms of the affordability. When you look at the revenue that we are bringing in for each student, and you look at the outcomes that we are generating, the kind of facilities our students are in, and the experiences they get to have, they're very competitive with the school districts that are further to the left and bringing in a much larger amount of revenue. I would note that for those districts to the left, they're bringing the revenue in either through federal aid, state aid, or some of the other districts, just larger amounts of property tax income. 2 other items. How do we stand in terms of student count? You'll see back in 2008, this is our starting point. Numbers dip a little bit, but overall, here we are back in 2016. Our student population is up by 1%, and that is compares to about a 1.5% dip by Delaware County and about a 10% overall dip by all districts in the state of Pennsylvania. So I think, this is a very positive number. It shows people are happy, they're keeping their kids in Pendelco, and it remains a desirable place to go. There was some questions about charter schools, and this will be the final data point I'll show you. Back in '08, in Delaware County, about 4% of the district budget was going to charter school tuition. In the state, it was about 3%. We were at about 1%. So the most recent data here is up to 2015. We are at 1.2% of our budget was being spent on charter schools, whereas across the state, school districts, almost 5% of their total budgets were going to charter school tuition. And you'll see the big spike that happened right there in Delaware County is coming back down. Now, I can tell you, projecting ahead, we are now getting up around 1.8, 1.9%. So the goal for me is to try to bring that back down again to about that 1.2% number. That we have spiked up with everybody else a little bit more in 2015, but it will still be, I think, substantially lower than where we are compared to our peers, and we wanted to stay that way.
Thank you, Mr. Stone. Other item I'd like to bring to the attention of the public is tonight on the agenda, we have the resignation of Mr. Gregg, who can't join us tonight. He will be at our next board meeting. But he is resigning from his position as assistant superintendent. Last night, he effected a contract with the Christina School District, which is the largest school district in the state of Delaware. It's a district that he graduated from. It's a district that he worked in as an administrator, and it is in many ways his home. It serves the town that he grew up in as a child, and where his own students went to school as well. So I'm thrilled for him that he gets to go back to lead a very large district in Delaware. It has been his goal to run his own district, to lead the people in that district, and I'm happy for him. Certainly a loss for us. We'll move forward with identifying a really strong candidate to take over his duties. But I just wanted to bring attention publicly to say congratulations to him again on that position. And his resignation is on the agenda tonight for that reason, as he'll be leaving us on April 18th to take over leadership of the Christina School District. Thank you.
Announcements for the public. In accordance with Act 48 of the Sunshine Law, the board met in executive session this evening to discuss litigation and personnel issues. Comments by members of the board? And myself and other board members, we do have some comments for Rick Gregg, but I won't do justice without him here, so we will wait until we can roast him face to face. Items for board information. You have no items for board information. From there, we will take it to the top of page 2, public comments. Seeing none, on page 3, items for board review. This motion is to approve items 10.01, personnel professional. Page 4. Page 5, 10.02, personnel classified. And concludes at the top of page 6. This references the Pendelco budget 2016-2017. The Act 93 plans, the PDEA agreement, the PDESPA agreement, the PDSSPA agreement, and the PA School Code Section 1108B. Is the administrative recommendation to approve all these personnel items as presented. Do I have this motion? Questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Tonight, the board will utilize the consent agenda to approve the agenda items 10.03 through 10.16. Does any board member wish to remove any item from the consent agenda? If not, I need a motion to approve agenda items 10.03 through 10.16. Note all contracts, preparation, solicitation of bids are subject to review and approval from Sister. Do I have these motions? Questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Next, comments by members of the public. comments by members of the board? As discussed earlier, our next meeting is a special board meeting on Wednesday, April 5th, for the Sun Valley High School renovation bid awards here at the Service Center. And for our April meetings, April 19th, our study session here in the Service Center. And our next regular board meeting, business meeting will be Wednesday, April 26th, 2017. Motion for adjournment.
So moved.